Alright fellas, welcome back to the channel. And as some of you guys might have seen on the thumbnail, that's right, I got another 10A engine. This 10A is a bit different. By far one of the cleanest and most complete engines, even though I got it torn down. Gone through about 3 different 10A engines. This will be the 4th, and they're all different. There's some differences between all of them, including this recent one I just got. So for those of you who are new to the channel and you want to further your knowledge with old school Mazda rotary parts, especially the 10A, and what I mean by further your knowledge, just like the early development of Mazda, of where it started and where it was at and where it's going. So this is pretty much for you guys. So here we go. Alright, so I got 3 clean rotors here, 10A rotors. I did say I had gone through 3 engines prior to purchasing the 4th one. First one, obviously, it was all rusted out. You guys could go check out this video here so you could know what I'm talking about. So that's why it's not up here. So all 10As, and these are 3 good reusable rotors. Now the interesting thing, when I was going through these, this is the Mazda Tricks one I purchased, and if you guys check this out, it's got the little dimple here on this end, and there's another little dimple here. And this is the Mazda Tricks one. They told me it was for it came off an R100, but I'm starting to think maybe not. This one here, I bought this one a while back, and this one doesn't have that little dimple that goes on here, and I wasn't able to confirm because I did buy the second one without the apex seal side housing. It was just the engines without any of the seals on there. So, and this is the one I recently acquired, and this one also does not have, and the guy I bought it from, he did say that this one came off his R100, and this one doesn't have it either. So I'm starting to think that this was probably not even from an R100. I'm starting to think this is probably from a RX3. And some of you guys that might be more familiar with these rotors than me, you guys could probably let me know in the comments. But yeah, so that's the interesting part. So the reason why Mazda started making them with the dimples or the little holes on there is because of the springs, and that was something that I was wondering about the first set of 10As that I purchased, that it didn't have the little holes on there for the oil control rings. And those holes are for, you see how it's bent right there, the little tip, it's supposed to grab onto the little holes on there, and while the engine's spinning, it keeps the casing from spinning and causing any friction or heat. So that was something that Mazda developed later on its 12As and 13Bs. At least that's what I thought, but this 10A rotor happens to have it. Alright, so I put the camera down so you guys can get a better view of the springs. And so this is early development of Mazda, and as you guys could see, it's flat on both ends. And Mazda back then did recommend, kind of like the side tilt springs, they recommended that you put them this way, facing up. And this is the more I guess you could call it more modern, or the later development of Mazdas. You can see right here on the side, it's got like a little bent right on the tip, and this grabs onto the rounded side, grabs onto the rotor, which would be this one. This is the rounded one. That one grabs onto the rotor, and the square one grabs onto the casing, which is here. And the casings, they have a little notch on the bottom. This is a 10A one, so it's not gonna have a notch on there, interestingly enough. Alright, so I found this 13B one. That way you guys can have a visual on there. But you see the casing on this one, that's where the other end of the spring grabs onto. So the square end grabs onto here, while the rounded end grabs onto the rotor, and it just pretty much keeps it from spinning, and you know, kind of pretty much reduces friction and wear on your side housings. So this is the 10A one, like I was showing you guys earlier. There's nothing on there. So yeah, Mazda was still trying to find a way to make these engines more reliable. And as you guys know, or might not know, I don't have it. I won't have one, but the RX-8, it's even different. It's got more seals, more different style springs, clamp springs. Well, you know what? I just remembered I do have an RX-8 rotor, but I just couldn't find a seal. So, but anyways, you guys can see, look, it's got that's where you lock it. It's got like a little pin there. So again, Mazda was trying to figure it out back then, and still is, and I'm sure somebody in the future will come up with a better way to seal. Maybe these will be obsolete to the point where like you probably won't even need these anymore, and probably save a couple bucks or not. But till then, I think Mazda's still trying to figure it out, trying to find better ways to develop like that hybrid. I'm pretty interested in knowing what kind of seals and spring that rotor has. But another interesting thing about this 10A that I just purchased too, it looked to me like the car was, or the engine was rebuilt at some point. And check this out, still has the color on there. So these are definitely reusable. They're within spec. I'm gonna say they're like semi-used, really low mile engine. They notice that the Rotors do have different codes on there. This one's a B code right there, and its partner is a C code, which you could see it there. So these are mismatched rotors, but you could go ahead and mismatch them. It's not a problem, it's not an issue. You could have a B and a C, or you could have a C and a D, as long as you don't skip. Like, if you can't have a B and then like a D, because then the weight is way off. But as long as they're like right next to each other, the letters, you could go ahead and mismatch them. So that leads me to believe that this engine was rebuilt. Everything's reusable. So again, even the color on the springs are different for this particular engine, this 10A engine. So you guys could see it has no bronze color, nothing. Now I did check these out. They're within spec as well. Everything's within spec, but yeah, I'm not gonna be using these springs. Probably just hang them on the wall or something like that, because it's just pretty interesting how Mazda started off with these here. And it's no point on using this style of springs when you could have this style here that, you know, reduces friction. It just makes the engine way more reliable. So and Mazda still sells these. These are pretty universal. You could fit them on a 10A, 12A, 13B. So I'm big one with this size. Now we're moving on to the apex seals. 10A apex seals, 6 millimeters. I checked them out. They do look a bit lopsided, but they're within spec. So yeah, this engine was definitely rebuilt at some point, and wasn't run. They didn't run too many miles. Everything's within spec, so that's pretty exciting. Side seals are within spec too. Yes, you guys could see. These do have that coating on there. So these are the springs. They do have that coating on there. They're within specs too, but I'm not gonna be using these. I'm just gonna get some new ones. All right, so another interesting thing too, and a difference that I was able to catch with the most recent 10A that I just purchased is the oil filler neck here. Check that out. This one's plastic. This was steel. I didn't know. And check this out. I have a magnet here. So it sticks on there. That one doesn't. So it's just I mean, this is crazy. It's just like even the cap's different. This one has some rubber cap. This one has a plastic with the nice old school M on there. So it's another difference too, which I wasn't aware of. So that's the pretty neat and the fun part about purchasing, you know, 10A engines left and right. So far, all the 10As that I purchased have all been different somehow, some way. Again, this is from a R100 71, R100 71, but I just don't understand or why these two are different. Let me know in the comments, guys. Dipstick, check that out. Look at the shape on that one. So, in case wondering, well, 10A dipstick. So, and other than that, everything is pretty much the same. The casting's the same. The primary ports are the same. So, nothing else changes. Just one's plastic and one's metal. So that's kind of odd, but yeah. So this is the latest addition to the family, to the 10A family. I'm just purchasing because, as we all know, or those of us that are trying to get our 10As going, springs are our worst nightmare when it comes to sourcing out parts. No one seems to have any NOS. No one seems to be making them. So we got to do what we got to do. And one of the ways that some of the 10A guys go about it, though, they'll purchase, because they still make the 6mm 12A springs, and what you got to do is just cut them down to size, which is, it could be kind of tedious too to get them down to size, because they have to be almost perfect. You don't want them to, you know, slide off when you're putting them in the car and the car's running. So that's the only reason why I keep sourcing out 10A parts, just to make it work. So basically, out of the 4 engines, the 4 10A engines, I'm gonna be able to build one really good, reliable 10A engine for my R100, and I couldn't be more excited than to have these in my possession. Semi-new or semi-used, whatever you want to call it, but they're very well within specs, and we'll get more into that down the future. And those of you who are new to the channel, go check out my old videos. There's more information, more depth info on these 10A rotary engines, but for now it's gonna have to do. Just want to share this with you guys. I've been showing a lot of as you guys know, I've been showing a lot of RX4 content. I got my RX4 running, very happy with that, but my dream is to actually finish up the R100 with the original 10A and get out on the road. So hopefully it might happen this summer. According to the body shop, they should have it done by the summer. So I don't know, we'll see, just waiting on them. All right.